I really do hope you subscribe and you like this content. I do have a more laid back way of going about things. I do not edit my content except for when I am doing side messages from my long form Oracle Tarot content. And I do that for people who don't enjoy long form, and also so specific messages can get out to the collective. Okay? So, speaking of, let me see which deck I want to work with. I have Kim Cran's Archetypes, and I also have the Medicine Heart Oracle. And I can read from the book afterwards, but I prefer to just read into the energy and see what we have. And I'm being called to archetypes first. I'm going to shuffle, so turn down the volume if you want. Kim Cran's Archetypes. Psychic read. This is a message for the collective for the month of June 2025. Or if you're catching this separate oracle later, it is a timeless message as well. Wow, interesting. Okay, so Eros just came out. I will use descriptive audio for this, and I will also make the image of this card the pinned image for this video. You can also find it on Pinterest or in my IG stories. So Eros is a type of masculine planet of love and desire, right? And this is a black and white card. Could be a synchronistic number for somebody. The card is LXXI. I believe L is 1,000. Correct me if I'm wrong. And of course X is 10, so that'd be 1,020, and then I don't remember what one. It's one. Duh. Okay. So 1,021. Also could be 1-to-1. Synchronistic 1-to-1. One-to-one conversations about love and desire, perhaps, for some of you coming up in June. Maybe the kind of love you desire, especially when it comes to nurturance with all the Cancer influences. Remember, we're still in Sun and Gemini until, the third week of June, so there's still a lot of emphasis on communication. And Eros is a very fiery energy. It's also very misunderstood. It's can be profound passions that some people don't understand. I just thought of Venus in Aquarius for some reason. Maybe some of you have Venus in Aquarius in your chart, because that would be an interesting placement that I'm pulling on right now, that energy. One-to-one is also the number 4. So where are your foundations with love and desire? Again, this is a black and white circular oracle card. In the center of the card is a grayscale collaged piece of a picture of what looks like a feminine mouth and an inserted, what looks like a diamond. Again, deep, high contrast, black and white. Diamond looks like it was placed inside the collaged lips, pursing it, holding it. It's a desire that is reformed. It is a desire that has been pressed and molded and shaped and is impeccable. However, this desire may not be as valuable as it appears, because diamonds, while are highly desirable, their worth is actually not as brilliant as it seems. So for some of you, you might want to look at your disillusionment in ways that you have fooled yourself with your desire. That's coming through for some. So outside of this cropped mouth with the diamond in it are these speckle outbursts of black dots, and it looks like kind of like chia seeds, very minuscule little black dots around this cutout mouth, which is kind of almost like a triangular shape, wobbly. But these little spatters of black grains are just, it's like bursting out everywhere into a complete white background, except for the line of a circle around the font of the card, right? Maybe look at how black and white thinking has impacted your desires. Look at how it has spread out into the ethers, how it has affected others. That's coming through for some. The only gray area in this card really is the mouth. It's the object of the desire, right? So some of you, if this is about love or just the way you love or desire, and again, it doesn't have to be about love, it could be about other things you love and desire and value in your life, right? A lot of Venusian energy coming through with the Eros, of course, celestial energy. Eros is a asteroid in your birth chart. Might help to better understand, if you know a little bit about astrology, to look at where your Eros placement is. But yeah, the only gray area is the object of the desire here. So for some of you, you're not really sure how to navigate what you desire. And I hope you're not actually trying to navigate anyone as if they are an object of desire, because that can become tricky. And for some, this is not all, and definitely not most of you, toxic, okay? Or unhealed ways of going about obtaining your desires, and it can make you feel murky. For some of you, I'm picking up that there is a absence of desire, that you felt very bland for a long time, and you want to branch out, you want to spread out, you want to kind of plant these little seeds everywhere into the vast unknown. But it's white, it's reflective, right? So remember, whatever you put out there is what you're going to receive back, right? The law of equivalent exchange, the law of attraction. I talk on these universal laws on my channel at times. I will have more content on that in the future. If you are interested in me doing a manifestation series, I'd be happy to dive into that in the future. Go ahead and leave me a comment if so. Just looking at the card and seeing if there's anything else that's coming through for everyone. Yeah, and this is a collective message, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And again, it's for the month of June, or whenever you find this message, you can apply it to your month ahead. Just some energies to think about, to focus your journal prompts on, maybe. I was just thinking about all the Cancerian energy, the maternal energy, right? The feminine energy. And Cancer is a cardinal sign, which means they go after what they desire, even though they are a sensitive water sign. And again, this is an energy, it's not necessarily specific people, okay? But the archetype of Cancer is also known as the Chariot card in the tarot, which the Chariot is driven by the Emperor, and they're usually moved towards something very fast. So maybe meditate on the Chariot card as a sibling card to this for the month of June. I might include one of my tarot decks, chariot cards, with this image so you can compare and contrast. You might have another deeper synchronicity triggered. I also share all my tarot and oracle readings in the community tab of my channel. So if you don't want to hit the notification bell, just check back every few days on the channel community page, and I will share images from readings and updates with video links. And again, for those of you that prefer my shorter form side message content, I link all the completed videos in the original Tarot Quests or long form videos post there. So that's where you can find that if you don't want to just go to my Divine With Me playlist, which is my primary timeless messages playlist. I think I've got near 60 different readings there now, so have fun exploring. For some of you, you haven't really wanted to explore much because of feeling so neutral. Because Eros, I mean, desire. I mean, you think about it, dopamine, it's desire, right? And desire can be tricky. It's possible some of you have been too deep in desire before, and you've had to rigidly control yourself into this black or white way of thinking, or this stagnancy, or this gray area, in order to cope with your overwhelming passions. Remember that it's about balance, right? And that's easier said than done for some people, and it won't apply to everybody. But if you are able to balance your action, your receptivity, so your masculine and feminine principles, because Eros is a very masculine energy and Venus is a very feminine energy, and I'm picking up on Venus as well. So it's really looking at how do you balance those energies within yourself to have balanced desire. And again, you may want to look at your Venus placement as well. See what sign you have in Venus. If you have Venus in Cancer, even better, because of the Cancer energies. That's really going to be highlighted this month for you. You also can look at your second house placements. You know, whatever sign you have in your second house of your birth chart. Again, I'm a professional astrologer. I'd be happy to read your chart. Just check out the description box for more. You can also look at your Taurus or Libra placements. You know, what placements do you have Libra or Taurus? And I discussed this in my Astro Highlights and Luna Notes full form video, which is a part of this reading. I will link that at the end of this separate oracle message for those of you only catching the oracle version, in case you want to check out June's astrology. But I talk about those kinds of things there. Some of you haven't felt desire for things in a very long time. But you know what you value, because we have the diamond here, and it's like being received in the mouth, or it's being placed, or it's being presented, however you want to perceive that. But it's like, also some of you may speak very beautiful, exotic, or passionate language. Maybe some of you are great storytellers, especially with the sun in Gemini. That could be an emphasis. Again, if you're catching this later, the energies that are circulating when I do these readings or these videos, it colors the experience, right? It's like that energy is captured, kind of like a photograph captures people's moods through visually. Well, astrologically, it captures when something is created during a certain time. And this is really good for some of you who want to manifest your desires, to remember these things. Some of you feel like your desires are wrong. We got Depeche Mode's, what is this, Wrong? I think that's the name of the song. Yeah. This is my astrology inspired playlist. I think I mentioned that in the Astro Highlights portion of this video. My profile is in the description box if you feel like checking out my music enthusiasm. Yeah, some of you feel like your desires are wrong, and I'm not here to say if they are or not. Only you know what is right for you and right for other people. And, you know, if you need help balancing, definitely talk to somebody you can trust, and it helps to kind of explore that. Maybe find some kind of support group in your community if you're struggling with your concept of desire. Some of you maybe just don't feel desirable yourself, or you haven't had people speak desirably to you. And I don't mean like hit on you or anything. I mean like, you know, intellectual desire is a thing as well. There are people who, and I'm not talking about sapiosexuals, excuse me, but that could apply to some, but we're not going to go down that road. Try to keep this PG-ish, yeah? So, but it could be about hearing beautiful words or speaking beautiful words, especially again with that Gemini influence in communication. Maybe some of you want to communicate your passions to others, and that could be a person, or it could be a group, it could be a society, it could be your work. Maybe that's, some of you have strong Mercury in your charts in your 10th house of career. Maybe you really shine in your career through your voice and how you speak about your desires, and share that. Because language in itself is an art form. Communication itself is an art form, right? And also that makes me think of active listening, the other part of communication, right? If you don't listen to respond, you listen to receive. And this picture has somebody with their mouth blocked by this diamond. So some people don't know how to respond to other people's language. Some people may have a sense of a blocked throat chakra. So I would definitely advise that some of you look into throat chakra healing. One way you can transmute energy and work on your throat chakra, whether you are a talented singer or not, is by singing or humming or whistling, you know, some kind of verbal expression. And you know, there are some people in this world who cannot speak, who cannot express sound. And for those of you, if you happen to be here, which I like to include everyone, I am an advocate, then there are other ways to express your voice. And for some of you, it might be writing and communicating in that way, and creating beautiful images in the mind through the stories you tell through your writing, right? The song title of this song is Bastet, and I'm getting Ancient Egypt. That's been coming up for me a lot. I don't know why, but I mean, I know why for me, but for some of you, you may want to look into ancient Egyptian culture. Perhaps the ways they dedicated and showed their love or expressed their love through their culture, through their music, like the song. Eros is also a very ancient energy. Perhaps it's how you speak to the ancient ones that you work with, if you work with energies. How do you venerate your passions to your spiritual team, to your deities, to your god, to your gods, goddesses? I was tempted to pull another card, but I think we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. Please feel free to give the video a like. It is a simple act of human kindness. And feel free to leave a book emoji in the comments if you enjoyed this oracle reading. And on that note, I think I will read a little bit from the book for y'all who actually hung out to the end here and see what they have to say. Again, this is Kim Cran's Archetype. It's part of the Wild Unknown series. I have all three. I have the Spirit Animal, I have Archetypes, and I have the Wild Unknown Tarot. I don't work with the tarot a lot. The deck hasn't really called to me as much yet. And I believe she's got another one out. I think it's the Alchemy deck. I really would love to get my hands on that one too someday. I'm a semi-minimalist, so I really am more about sustainability than variety, you know? Alright, so I'm not sure if I'll read this whole thing. I might. But it is on page 208 and 209. So 208 or 209 could be synchronistic numbers. 10, 1, or 0. 11. Okay. Eros, love as desire, eroticism, and sensuality. Woo! I said we were going to keep it PG-ish. Come on now. I'm just kidding. Alright. Plato reminds us that Eros can be experienced as platonic love. It is activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften. Wow, that's beautiful. Kind of like the dissipation of the grains in the image. That can also be seen as softening, because sand, when it's compacted, because it kind of could look like sand, is hard, right? But when it's spread out, it's soft and grainy. The ocean may be important for some of you, especially if you're looking at the Aphrodite side of Venus, which is another aspect of Venus. That's for some of you. Then over here, the book says, the Hindu goddess Lalita, quote, she who plays, end quote, can help activate Eros energy. She's also known as Kameshvari, or, quote, Empress of Desire, end quote. There's also, I'm seeing some Empress associations with this reading, so the Empress card could be another energy archetype to look at. The ultimate divine feminine. Check out my Tarot Talk and Astro Tea playlist to follow. I think it's an 8 or 9 short form video series on the Empress with astrology and tarot that I did. Right, so when light, passion, playfulness, and sexual health, when dark, madness, projection, and obsession. Right, so I kind of talked about that in a way, like, it, you know, also have fun figuring out your desires, like maybe look into a new form of a craft, because any form of creativity is an expression of desire, right? We talked about working with possible inner child wounding with the Cancer and Capricorn polarity energies coming up, right? So some of you, it might be important to give your inner child love by investing in play again. If you can't think of a way to play in a safe way, then maybe it's time for you to get creative and think about how you can do that. So there's another idea for you. Okay? And again, here, the dark side of Eros, madness, projection, obsession, right? So some of you are subduing your desires because you feel like you cannot control them if you were to access them. And that's definitely something to work with somebody else, possibly professionally, if you haven't already, to kind of find out how to keep that in balance to where you can still enjoy life without feeling hindered by the shadow side. So shadow work might be important for some of you. I'll say sexual healing might be important for some of you. Again, I'm not a medical or mental health professional, but I am an advocate and a guide, so apply it to your life if it fits. If it doesn't, just let it go, okay? So to go deeper, Love Sonnet 11 by Pablo Neruda, or Basket of Figs by Ellen Bass. I like how she recommends different activities, songs, plays, books that you can really get into the energy. So definitely check those out if you're interested. So I'm not going to read the main paragraph here because, you know, I do want to encourage others to support other people's work. And while this is a very popular deck, I'm going to leave it at that. And perhaps in another reading, I will read the main paragraph. And you'll get it then. It's a mystery. For some of you, mystery is intriguing and it is desirable, whether being or seeing it in your life. That just came through as well. Beautiful. I think we're going to leave it at that. And yeah, I'll give you some shop updates. For those of you that just came for the Oracle, thank you very much. I hope you have a great month, whether it's June or whenever you're catching this Oracle timeless message. Feel free to hit the like button or subscribe or share or comment, whatever you'd like to do. Appreciate you viewing, listening, checking out, whatever. You're awesome. You rock. And so do my subscribers. Alright everyone, so I kind of, as far as updates go, I kind of touched on some things throughout this recording. I am starting to get into the flow of offering 1 or 2 collective timeless tarot quests every week. And again, I'm sharing that in the community tab every time I publish the long form. I cross post this on my Instagram stories the day of sharing typically.